And it doesn't look like it, but this is one of the rarest cylinders in the world. And not because it's unique or something you can buy. It's not like something rare because they only made so many of them. It's rare because it took forever to make. And what I mean by that is this Medeco mortise cylinder was installed in 1991, just got out of use last week. So almost, well, a little over 30 years this thing's been in the field. And based off of our service history, invoices, all kinds of other supporting documents and information, stuff like that, on a conservative estimate, this thing has had over 1 million uses, 1 million cycles. We peg it at least 1,095,000. Realistically, it's probably about 1.2 million, but we went very low just to kind of cover our bases to make sure that it truly was 1 million. This is on a common use door for a condominium building here in town that we've been servicing since the 80s. And we got that 1,095,000 calculation off of at least 100 daily uses for 30 years. This particular condo had more than 100 units in it. So if you think of this as a common entry door, I think there's like 200 units in this thing, maybe 150, something like that. I can't remember. But if just half of them, or not even all of them, but some of them use their key once a day over 30 years, you get that 1,095,000. If we count, I think the 1.2 million number was based off of 75% of the units using their key at least once a day, and that got us to 1.2. But like I said, went really lowball to ensure that this thing really had 1 million uses. So I'm gonna take it apart and kind of show you what the hell 1 million cycles does to a cylinder. As far as I can tell, I couldn't find any record that we ever rekeyed it. So these might be the original pins that were installed back in 91. But on the outside, number one, that's not how the keyway looked originally. Actually, you can kind of see why it was replaced. That top pin's sticking right there. I'm sure that's because of uneven wear, but we'll find out in a bit. But that's the keyway, or what's left of it. Looks like a modern M3 keyway, but that's what it looks like brand new. You know, it's pretty, see on the back side, you can get the reverse of it, but pretty tight keyway. But that be it now. And then on the back, a few things I can figure out from here. Number one, we've got channel lock marks on it, so somebody was toying with it at one point. I think the lock had to be replaced at one point, because I can see right here there are two different screw marks where the set screw would go. So it wasn't always installed in the same position. That's likely because somebody replaced the Adams right lock. Obviously this went to an Adams right lock, this is Adams right cam. So somebody replaced it at some point. Second thing is, got some wear here at the top, but not around the bottom, which leads me to believe that for most of its life, it had a cylinder ring that was not spring loaded and basically just rested on the top. So that's why you've only got wear here as opposed to everywhere else. If it had spring loaded, I would expect little to no wear, or at least more uniform wear around it. I'm not actually a forensic locksmith, by the way. This is just country thinking. Other than that, thread's looking pretty good condition. Actually, yeah, you can tell. Let's see. No, I pointed to the wrong part earlier. Yeah, here's the set screws. Although there are marks here, so perhaps during this opening's life, they could have swapped the entire frame and door, which would cause them to have to secure it one way and then the other, or vice versa. So, all right, let's learn that. On the back, looks like hell, but you know, still pretty good shape. Top part, a lot of dirt and grime, but that's to be expected over 30 years, good Lord. So I'll start taking it apart one by one. We'll see what the hell's in here. Like I said, that top one, this first chamber, the pin's stuck, so who knows what we're gonna find. All right, so the first clue that this probably was never rekeyed are these are the old style springs. Actually, you can kind of see at the top, they've got that copper look. And the copper, I don't know what it is during the machining process, is worn off on the sides because that's what's, you know, in contact with the chamber hole. So that's significant. And you can see just by touching the spring, look how dirty this thing is. And it's not wanting to come out. Probably because of the wear. So you can widen things out a little bit. Yep, that didn't work. Go on to the next one, see if we get better luck. Nothing's wanting to come out. There we go. Got a top pin out. Looks like a 1 or a 2. Top pin size. Good night. I think the longest part of this video is going to be getting these pins out. The springs aren't even wanting to come out. Ooh, God, look at that one. That's gnarly. That's a crushed spring right there. So that could be another reason why it stopped working. But again, I can see that the in the first chamber that pin's stuck up there, so it's likely the problem. All right, so that probably came from the third. Got another, it looks like another 2, and then there's a number 1 master wafer right there. Not really worried about keeping everything in order because it's obviously never going to be used again, but I would like to put the pins back in. Spring looks a little bit better there. Normally this stuff should just fall out. I mean, sometimes you get some stubborn bottom pins. It looks like another number 2 with a number 1 master pin. Sometimes you get some stubborn bottom pins, but I've never had it to where you couldn't get any of the top pins or the springs out without having to beat the hell out of the cylinder. But there's another one that fell out. I don't know where that went, but Lord. All right, first top pin out. That came from the second chamber. Yeah, okay, so what I thought, look at, you see right there, it's kind of got a chisel to it. That's from riding the Kia over all those years. Now look at that. And here's a brand new one. You've got that chisel point, but I don't have a wear down the middle because this thing has seen a lot. Look at that thing. Good God. Woo! Alright, where are we at? Oh, it's gonna be fun. Well, poop. I don't have any shims in my home shop. I could shim it open if I had shims. Oh crap. Yeah, let's see if we can do it this way. Move the hell out of it. Let's see. It's not WD-40. Good bit of wear on the cam. See that groove right there? That's not how they come. Curious though. Got one minute to come out. Here we go. These top pins and these master wafers aren't really going to show much wear except perhaps the diameter It's a little bit smaller than when it came out of the factory or when it was installed, because it's not in contact with the key, it's in contact with the bottom pin and then the spring. Not really a lot of wear top to bottom on that, but we're getting there. All right, so I can see the plugs coming out, so that hopefully means, well, at least that chamber's open. Oh, so close. I'm just trying to get whatever's left in there above the plug so I can either pull the plug or rotate it. Not working. So I got 1 and 1, 3 and 4. So I keep playing with it. Tell you what I may be able to do. Almost. Too big, but let's see. What else do I have around here? I should have been coming better prepared, but I didn't think it was going to be this hard to take apart. Bear with me. Shit, what can I use? I don't believe in hook picks, so that's why I don't have any hook picks, but that would be perfect for here. Let's see if I can bend the shit out of one of these to make it work. It'll work. Modified hook pick. Hey. Nothing is coming. Well, I'm done asking. The reason I'm hitting it with a hammer is so it doesn't hurt threads. Not that it really matters because it's going away, but still. Where we caught it, y'all. Well, it's sitting good. I'm gonna get it apart. I've got one more way we'll try it. If not, you're just gonna have to get the after pictures. Work on them all day and then you don't know what to do when it's time to do it. All right, here's a deep hook. Oh, we almost got one. Another trick you can do is take something in these. Round them out. Hopefully create some room. Goodness, I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. I guess we ain't gonna see. Look at that. There's no millings left on the plug, so I can stick the key almost where it shouldn't be. Did it again. Well, that's probably why they replaced it, huh? All right, don't show anybody I showed you that. All right, sidebar looks okay. I mean, I just did that, so ignore it, but it's in pretty good shape. Let's see, this first pin, this is the one that was, yeah, look at that. Much of the same. Yep, it's gonna be par for the course, I guess, going forward. So if I had to guess, this was never rekeyed. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, so here, okay, so you can see it gets war worn from the beginning till the end. So give you a few seconds to figure out why. It's actually pretty easy to figure out. It's pretty clever. This pin stack is interfaced the least, because you've just got the, you know, the tip of the key going in. It's only touching the tip. This one's touching cuts 5 and 6. This one's touching cuts 4, 5, and 6. This is cutting 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all 6 right here going in and out. So 12 times. This one's moving up and down. This one's moving up and down 12 times, and then it goes down to here where this is only moving in twice. So that's why we would expect a lot of wear here, which we find. It looks like the indicator slots on these have been worn away. This one's still there pretty good, but as you move to the front, it's pretty bad. And then down through here, yeah, you can see, again, because the front's getting the most movement and the most wear, the milling is almost gone at the front, and as it moves to the back, we're, clean that out. As we move to the back, we're still pretty good, which would explain why there's still a lot. Let's see, compare the two. Not perfectly matched, but more like here than here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I figured there'd be a lot more wear on here. Actually, you can see. So with the Medecos, this is all brass, but the way they plate it, or they, I don't know, apply finishes. If I were to run this under a wire brush long enough, I would start to see that yellow brass underneath. Same thing here, but instead of a wire brush, we've got it in various parts, because that's just turning it 1,000,000 times. You're basically mimicking that motion, albeit not as abrasively, because we don't have wire wheels or wire brushes against it. It's moving against another smooth surface, but do it a long enough time, 1,000,000, you'll start to wear it all out. So that's what it looks like after 1,000,000 cycles. Now, I am going to put this back together, and I'll save you the time since we wasted a lot watching it come apart. But up next for this thing is I'm going to put it back together and try to keep it as dirty and ugly looking as it is, because it's been through hell. But I'm going to go take it down the street to the trophy shop and see if they can't put something together with a little plaque kind of covering the details of it and the calculations, how it got to 1,000,000. And from there, it'll be the best sales tool I have in my shop, other than my pretty little face. So thanks for sticking it out. Sorry it took so long, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. But cut it some slack. It's been 1,000,000.